Shohei Ohtani had a great series. He had a great series. And that last game, hitting 3 home runs, 10 strikeouts, 6 scoreless innings, and he threw the ball. One of his pitches hit over 100. It's incredible. It is incredible. He is. Now, what people are saying he's the greatest baseball player of all time, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
It's too early. It's too early.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous to even say that. If you look at Shohei Ohtani's numbers right now in the playoffs, he's batting .220, okay? He's not hitting, and I know everybody wants to give him all the praise. You want to give him the NLCS MVP, that's fine. He looked great in his final game. He pitched well. He hit the ball. He hit 3 home runs. Great. Congratulations. Sensational. My opinion here is, and I'm not trying to compare him to Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge hit 500 all the way through the playoffs before the Yankees got eliminated. He was hitting 500. 500. Okay? This guy is batting .220. All right? Yes, he's a pitcher. I understand that. You want to put that, and obviously Joba's a pitcher, and Joba's going to tell you don't understand how much pressure you have, and this and this and that, and that's fine. I'm not taking that away from him. He's a great pitcher. Good for him. But to come out there and people on social media after this wonderful performance and giving him the NLCS MVP to say that he is the greatest baseball player of all time, guys, he's not better than Babe Ruth. He's not better than Mickey Mantle. He's not better than Ted Williams. He's not better than Joe DiMaggio. He's not better than these greats that we have. That's just some of them. That's not all of them. That's some of them. He is moving towards that trajectory where you can compare him to those guys, but to say that he's the greatest baseball player of all time, it's ridiculous. Let me ask you guys a question. Shohei Ohtani, what was he batting in the World Series last year?
Like 100.
Before this series, what was Shohei Ohtani batting going into this series? In the hundreds. He was batting 188, 189. He's batting, at the end of this series, he was batting a little bit over 200. And you're going to go out there and say he's the greatest baseball player of all time because it was one of the greatest performances we've seen in a playoff game? Come on, guys. This is the young Brewers. This isn't the Yankees. This isn't come on, guys. We're going to sit here and we're going to just praise Shohei Ohtani. He's sensational. He's a great player. I'm not going to take it away from him. He's special. He really is. He's a special player. I'm just tired of hearing he's the greatest baseball player of all time. It's not even close. You could put him with all the greats. No, you cannot. Go look at Babe Ruth, what he was hitting in the playoffs in his career. Mickey Mantle. Go look at Yogi Berra. Joe D. Go look at their batting averages in the playoffs. And everybody's going to say, well, they don't throw 100. It's a different game. Baseball was different. Pitchers played 9 innings. They don't get out in 5-6 innings like Shohei Ohtani pitched. These guys pitched. There were starting pitchers that were going 10 or 11 innings. 342 in the playoffs. 15 home runs and 972 career postseason OPS. It's ridiculous. And you're going to put Shohei Ohtani there? Let's go look at Mickey Mantle's playoff record, playoff numbers in his career. Here it is. 257 average, 18 home runs, 40 RBIs in 65 played games exclusively in the World Series. So that's his World Series or postseason record on numbers. It doesn't matter. But what I'm trying to say is these guys are some of the greatest baseball players of all time. And we're already comparing Shohei Ohtani, who's batting .220 right now in the playoffs. Come on, guys, stop. It's ridiculous. And you want to say I'm a hater? You want to go attack me on this take on social media? Kiss my rear end. You want to look at analytics? Analytics would tell you you're on friggin' drugs. And yes, Jeff, if you listen to the show, you're on friggin' drugs too. Because Jeff sent me a nice little picture of Shohei Ohtani saying, hey, Earl, check me out now. And I told Jeff, I said, let me ask you a question. Would you rather bat .220 throughout the playoffs or 500? Let me ask you that question. He says, 500. Well, Aaron Judge was hitting 500. He says, no, he wasn't. I say, yes, he was. He hit 500 throughout the playoffs in 2 series. He did. So what are you going to say about that? You gonna still say Shohei Ohtani's better than Aaron Judge? Oh, absolutely. Aaron Judge don't pitch. What is that? He's a 5-tool player. He plays in the outfield. Come on, guys. This guy has all the pressure on him on the Yankees. Look what Shohei Ohtani has protecting him. Mookie Betts, MVP. Freeman, MVP. Do we want to name more? These guys are... There's only one guy that they actually drafted in their starting lineup. The Dodgers. One guy. It was their catcher. Come on, guys. You're going to try to sell me? Yeah, he's pretty good. No question that he is. Will Smith. But I'm not going to sit here.
But isn't that kind of saying the same thing though, Errol? That they said back in the day with the Yankees that they bought all of their.
No, and I'm going to help you here. I'm going to help you here, Jabba. In the 90s, we're going to go back.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
We're going to go back. We're going to go back in time because I love Yankee haters out there that can't stand the New York Yankees and say that the Yankees bought all their championships. Okay, let's go from the 90s, early 90s. Don Mattingly never won. 94, 95, Derek Jeter was called up. He played how many games? I think it was like 20-something games, 30-something games. His full rookie season was 95. They made the playoffs. Don Mattingly, they lost against Seattle. I remember that. They lost Jimmy Lawrence. Remember it. 96. They had Bernie Williams. They had Derek Jeter. A young Mariano Rivera. A young Andy Pettitte. Remember that? And a young...
I think Mo even started a couple games that year, I believe.
Wickman was the closer. Mo was the 8th inning guy. I remember it. And I also remember a young Jorge Posada. You had 5 core players. By the way, Bernie Williams, who should be in the Hall of Fame, one of the greatest playoff players of all time. Derek Jeter, Hall of Famer. Mariano, Hall of Famer. Andy Pettitte, borderline Hall of Famer. These guys were developed by the Yankees organization, the core of players. And then they brought in Scott Brocious, Paul O'Neill, who they traded, Roberto Kelly, who was a top prospect with the Yankees. Do you want me to go on? Tino Martinez that they traded from Seattle. They traded a bunch of good young pieces to Seattle to bring in Tino Martinez. They made moves. They didn't buy players. They traded. To bring in players. Yeah, they brought in an old Wade Boggs. Charlie Hayes? Come on, guys. Who made the last grab in 96 to win the World Series? Charlie Hayes. Does anybody remember Charlie Hayes? Don't even get me started with the New York Yankees because I know the New York Yankees, okay? I remember those Yankee teams. They did not buy their championships. They built around a core of players. The only championship that I could consider that they bought into was 2009. They brought in CeCe Sabathia, A.J. Burnett, and Mark Teixeira. And yep, Jabba was a part of that team as well. But he was also drafted by the New York Yankees. So was Phil Hughes, and so was some of the youngsters that they had on their roster. The fact here is, guys, the Yankees did not buy their championships in the 90s. They didn't. They built around a core. This Dodger team, I call this the deferred LA Dodgers. And until proven otherwise, they bought... And if they win this championship, they've bought these 2 championships. And they're probably going to win another one next year. And probably another one the year after. Because with this roster and the way this is put together, they're never going to lose. Ever. And I just think this is the way baseball wants to play it. And baseball doesn't want to do anything about it. And Rob Manfred wants to play with his dinghy and make excuses and try to change the game. Well, sell this big one. This team of the Dodgers. It doesn't matter if it's Shohei Ohtani, Yamamoto, or Sasaki. This is a bought championship. And as far as I'm concerned, to even put Shohei Ohtani in the same conversations of those greats is ridiculous. Sell that. You can pile it up and shove it up your ass and cook it whenever you want. I just had some pizzas. Some Ilio's pizzas. I ate them. I'm going to enjoy them, and you can kiss my ass because he's not anywhere close to any of those guys.
You know what? I will agree with you on this for one reason, Errol, is you can't do like when they're talking about the postseason. He's played like parts of 2 postseasons, like a postseason and a half, right? So you really can't say much. I mean, it really wasn't. I prefaced something on Twitter, and I was just like, why? You know, he ends up winning, obviously, you know, the MVP. But before that, it was, you know, he was struggling. It had been talked about, don't get me wrong. but it wasn't front page news like it was Judge. So I wanted to hear what everybody's opinion and thoughts on it were. Where, winning helps, and you guys have even said it, and I think everybody else understands it. It's when you win, it hides a lot of these things, but also too, when you have those names like you mentioned and Mookie and those guys, then it does cover it up a little bit. But also, where I will say that they bought it, I don't necessarily, because every team had a chance to get these free agents, right? They had a chance. And you even said it. There's one in Will Smith that they've got. So you blame the Dodgers for it. Well, they're just doing what every other team could do. So I don't necessarily think that they're buying it or they're the ones to blame. It's the guys that don't want to spend money and they have the same opportunity. Every owner's a billionaire. Some just have a lot more B's than the other, but you don't just own a team because that's the only thing you do. So I feel like, and I think that's kind of a common denominator of guys that have, brought this question to the forefront of why is everybody looking at the Dodgers like, what the heck? Deferred money's been going on forever. It's just not been as prevalent as it is now. But you have every other team that has every opportunity to do this same thing. So don't look at them. Look at your team's owner and be like, why aren't we doing this? But we've seen what teams have done paying these guys, where just because you buy them doesn't necessarily mean you win. The way that they structured the deals, yes, 100%, where they can afford all these guys now. But, you look at the Yankees, they haven't won, and they've spent $1 billion between three guys. So what are you going to do? You spent $700 for the Mets plus Lindor plus all the other guys. There's $1 billion right there. So just because you spend it doesn't necessarily mean you win it. The Dodgers just are doing it, and they've had guys to buy in. Like, are you going to take deferred money to be able to have a chance to be in the World Series and know that you're going to have a pretty damn good chance? Yeah, if winning means that much, 100%. But going back to it, Ohtani right now, no, there's no way that he's on the trajectory, like you said. He's on that path, but he hasn't played long enough to even is he starting to be considered? The same thing we talk about Judge. Is Judge great? Yes. But is he going to get to legendary status? But he has to win. And he can do everything that he can do, but you can't do it by yourself either. And so Ohtani obviously has help. If he continues to do what he's doing right now, then yes, if he plays 6-7 more years and does this, then he's 100% in the question, without a doubt.
Listen,
he single-handedly had one of the greatest games ever. I went in and said probably the greatest game, right, is Don Lars's perfect game. But 10 punch-outs and 3 homers, and then everybody's like, well, if that was Judge, they wouldn't have pitched to him and blah, blah, blah. Well, they did, and he still hit a homer. You know how hard it is to hit a homer? And he hit 3 and punched out 10. You're probably not ever going to see that again.
I'm not saying that it's not special, but look at these numbers. Shohei Ohtani is batting .225 in his career.
Oh no, I'm agreeing
in the
with
playoffs. 23 hits, 8 home runs, 19 RBIs, 21 runs scored in 26 postseason career games. All right, that, ladies and gentlemen, is not a world beater. When you compare numbers like Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, even Roger Maris, what he did in the playoffs. Yogi Berra, what he did in the playoffs. That's just then. How about now, in these days? Look at Derek Jeter's numbers in the playoffs. Go look at Bernie Williams' numbers in the playoffs. I'm naming Yankees. So to sit here and say that Shohei Ohtani, because of what he did to eliminate the Brewers, the young Brewers, oh my God, he is absolutely the greatest player of all time. It's ridiculous.